now that we know those goals, now the second step is we have to figure out what is the right strategy. Okay. And this is where people really mess up. If you do not have a strategy, okay, on gaining muscle and losing fat, you are going to fail every single time. You have to have a strategy. Okay. If your strategy is, I'm just going to lose fat and gain muscle simultaneously, it's wrong. Okay. Let me tell you why. Okay. In order to gain muscle, you need to eat over your maintenance calories. You need to be in a caloric surplus. Okay. In order to gain muscle, you need to eat over your maintenance calories. Let's just say your maintenance calories are 2,000 calories per day. Okay. In order to gain muscle, you need to eat over 2,000 calories. We'll call it 2,500 for a nice even number. Okay. In order to lose fat, you need to eat under your maintenance calories. Let's just call it 1,500. Okay. So how are you going to do both? How are you going to increase muscle and lose body fat at the same time when they are contradicting goals? In order to gain muscle, you need to eat up here. You need to be over your maintenance calories. In order to lose fat, you need to eat under your maintenance calories. So when you set out and your strategy is, I'm going to do both at the same time, you are shooting yourself in the foot because you're going to end up doing things that are just going to be chasing your own tail. Okay. I'll give you a perfect example of this with me. Okay. True story. Okay. So when I went to college, and this was kind of the beginning of my journey of fitness, I gained a lot of weight. I gained 25 pounds in the first 30 days that I was there. Okay. And I'm not going to get into the whole spiritual story about it, but I gained 25 pounds. Okay. And then over the next couple years, I lost 50 pounds. Okay. I got all the way down to 165 pounds. Okay. I lost 50 pounds. Okay. Now, when I finally lost all that weight, I was really lean, but I didn't have a lot of muscle. Okay. But I was so terrified of gaining fat and gaining weight again that I set up my entire program. My cardio was set up to lose fat. My eating was set up to lose fat, but I was spending 2 to 3 hours in the gym lifting weights so I could gain muscle. Okay. And I mean, a year and a half, 2 years, I was stuck at 165 pounds because I was doing both. I was doing cardio. I was doing an hour of cardio, okay, to lose fat. I was eating about 1,500 to 1,800 calories a day, which is way below my maintenance calories, okay? But I was spending 2 to 3 hours in the gym, lifting weights, lifting heavy, grunting, spitting, all that stuff, okay? And I got absolutely nowhere. Why? Because they are contradicting goals, okay? They cannot work simultaneously. So I changed my major in school and I changed it to exercise science and I started learning all this stuff. And what did I do? I said, you know what? I'm going to actually apply what I'm learning and I'm going to focus on muscle building right now. I'm just going to focus on pure muscle building because that's what I want to do more than anything. I want to lose muscle. So that's exactly what I did. I got into a caloric surplus. Okay. And I started eating calories. I actually eliminated my cardio with the exception of 1 day a week. And I would do a 45-minute run 1 day a week. I put my weight training at about an hour. Okay. And all of a sudden, everything started to change. Immediately, my weight went from 170 pounds at that point all the way up to 190 in 6 months. Okay. But my body fat went from 15%. I started at 170 pounds, 15% body fat. Okay. And I wanted to gain muscle. So then I ended up in 6 months, I gained it up 190 pounds at 7% body fat, just simply by focusing on adding muscle. Okay. And so I won't explain to you why that happened, but all of a sudden that revolutionized everything for me. I was about 21 years old at that point, and that revolutionized everything. I said, wow, okay, there's actually, if we follow science, it'll actually work. And that changed the game for me on not just my body, but how I approached everybody's body. Follow the science and you will get results. Okay. So if you have the strategy, I'm going to do both, not going to work. Okay. Strategy. I'll make it a really simple strategy for every single person out there that wants to do recomp. Okay. If your focus is only losing fat and that's it, your focus is not building muscle, then you're not trying to do recomp. You need to go watch my fat loss video. Okay. If your focus is only building muscle, okay, and you don't care about your body fat, then you're not trying to do recomp. You're trying to do lean bulk. So go watch that video, okay? But if you're trying to do both, you're trying to lose body fat and you're trying to increase muscle, this is the strategy I'm going to tell you to take. Focus on building muscle first, okay? I know nobody wants to hear that. Okay. Everybody wants to start with fat loss because that's the most painful thing that we have on our body. But if you focus on building muscle first, you'll be able to eat a lot more food. Everybody wants to eat a lot of food, right? The less food you eat, the more miserable you are, the more cranky you are, the more likely you have cravings, the more likely you are to fall into your cravings if you eat less, right? But the more that you eat, the more full you are. Okay. The more food you can eat, the happier you are, the better your training sessions are going to be. Okay. So focus on focus on building muscle first, okay? You're in a caloric surplus, okay? Or even eat at your maintenance calories, but eat more food than what you're eating right now, okay? And focus on building muscle and, maybe limit your cardio. Don't do as much cardio, okay? Because you're not doing fat loss, but focus on building muscle. And do that and continue doing that until you feel you've built enough muscle, until the data shows that you've built the amount of muscle that you want to build, okay? Now, if you're trying to gain 30 pounds of muscle, you probably don't want to do it, gain all 30 pounds of muscle before you start losing fat, okay? You may just want to do it at 10-pound increments, right? You may want to build 10 pounds of muscle first and then lose 10 pounds of fat. Then build 10 pounds of muscle, and then lose 10 pounds of fat. Okay. So you might want to do it like that if you have a lot of muscle to build. Okay. So you can do this in a couple phases. You don't necessarily have to do it all at once. Okay. So focus on building muscle first. Once you've built your goal, whether it's 10 pounds, 15 pounds, or even 7.5 pounds, whatever it is, once you've built that amount of muscle, now you can start focusing on losing fat. Okay. And then you can structure your program to start losing fat. Okay.